evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. Our first race will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. Blue skies overhead. It's warm, although it got a little more acceptable. It's now at about 27 degrees Celsius. The temperature for the evening will be recorded as 25 degrees Celsius. Track is listed as fast. The announcer listed as slow. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. Noted race number 1, number 7, Gala Halo. And the driver will be Anthony Hahn. Race 1, 7, Gala Halo, Anthony Hahn.
Your buddy's here tonight.
Race number 2, number 1, Tuxedo Attire. Scratched. Scratched is 1, Tuxedo Attire. Note in race number 3. Scratched is number 6, Shake It If You Got It. In race number 4, there were no changes. No changes, race number 4. Note in race number 5, which is Thomas's 70th birthday trot. Happy birthday, Thomas. Scratched is number 8, Devoted Chip. Race 5, scratch 8, Devoted Chip. Races 6 and 7 have no changes. No changes, races 6 or 7. Race number 8, number 2, Arch Hall is scratched. Race 8, scratch 2, Arch Hall. And races 9 and 10 have no changes. No changes, races 9 or 10. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Note that Anthony Hahn in the first race driving 7, Gala Halo. And the second race, scratched, is number 1, Tuxedo Attire. Well, it is currently 17 minutes to post time and time to welcome in our handicapping expert, Robert Reed Jr. Robert, how are you?
Doing fantastic, Gary. Sorry that I missed Monday night's card, but it was one of those ones where it kind of ended up being okay for yours truly, because I had a hard time picking winners that night. I think you did as well, but hopefully we can return tonight with a much better performance on this wonderful Wednesday at Grand River Raceway. We got 10 races on the card for you this evening. We even got a carryover in race 6 in our super high 5, just under $500 being carried over from that Monday night card. Of course, my favorite wagers are the multi-leg wagers, and the first one will get started in race number 1. It is a pick 5, and Gary and I will come back at around 8 minutes to post, take a closer look at that for you.
Winbak Farm of Canada is home to 8 outstanding pacers, including $2 million earner and O'Brien Horse of the Year betting line, who is new to Canada in 2022. Look for first crop yearlings from these 3 standout stallions in 2022. O'Brien Award winner and earner of over $1.4 million, Jimmy Freight, Horse of the Year and richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, McWicked, and O'Brien Award winner and Metro Pace champion, Stag Party. Also standing millionaires, Art Spink, Better Than Cheddar, Bettor's Delight, and Shadow Play. For more information, visit winbakfarm.com. That's winbakfarm.com. Winbak Farm of Canada is home to 3 exceptional trotters. Archangel, sire 2 2021 Super Final winners, Fashion Frenzy and Twinbee Archie. My MVP, sire 2021 Ohio Sire Stakes Final winner Herculesa. Look for My MVP's first Ontario Crop and 2-year-old stakes action in 2022. Trixton sired many 2021 stakes winners, including Quattro de Julio and Beltassima. His first Ontario Crop will fall in 2022. For more information, winbakfarm.com.
Under 7 minutes away from the opener here at Grand River Raceway. You know what that means. It's time to take a look at one of my favorite wagers here at the river. The Pick 5 Guaranteed Pool, $2,500 gets started right here in the first race. Let's take a look at the tickets that Gary and I have mapped out for you this evening. We'll take a look at my ticket first. And I'm going to be, pretty frugal tonight. I am going to do something I don't usually do, and that's use all of them in one race. And I'm sure Gary will have a comment or two about that one. But in the opener, 3-7 for me. Nothing creative here, folks. Going to go with both the favorites, Creed Hanover and Gala Halo. Kind of surprised right now that Gala Halo is taking all the support at 3-5. Now Creed Hanover down to 9-5, so that's starting to get a little more in the neighborhood of where I thought it would be. Race 2, the 2 and 5. That's Get to the Point. Obviously, the big scratch of the 1 Tuxedo Attire in there, and the 5 Promise for Life. I think those are now the next 2 logical horses. Tuxedo Attire was going to be a key for me, but now too deep with the 2 and 5 in race 2. In race number 3, going to single the 2, Runaway Harris. Love the fact this horse has been racing, fantastic as of late. 5 consecutive top 2 finishes, now claimed by Joe Pereira. Right back for the same price tag. Good post to work from. Speed, the whole 9 yards. I love Runaway Harris tonight in race number 3. In the 4th, well, I think that's one of the toughest races on the card. I'm putting a couple of price horses on top. I'm going to take an all. 1 through 7 for me in race number 4. Going to just take them all and hope that a price comes through like I think it might. And then in race 5, going to single number 3, Thomas P2. He's been untouchable, just been dominant in his last 2 had post 5. Last time he's right back in the same class again. He's won 2 in a row in here. I think he just keeps on trucking tonight with another victory. So for me, it's going to be very thin in most spots. A couple of singles, an all-burger in race 4, $5.60 for a 20-cent wager. Let's see what Mr. Gary Guy has for us tonight.
Well, I have the exact same idea in the first race as you do, so 3 and 7. Second race, I went alone with Only Promise for Life. And you did also have Get to the Point, and off that last race, I understand it, but Get to the Point beat me out of my getting all 10, so I can't take them because I'm mad at Get to the Point. In race number 3, I have a bunch, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. I left a couple out, 4 and 7. We'll see if I can keep going if I get by the 2 keys. And in the 4th race, 1, 3, 5, and 7. You have them all. I wished you would have taken all but 1 so I would have a horse to cheer against, but I do like the 1, 3, 5, 7. I'll go with the odd numbers. And in the 5th race, well, Thomas P2. I'm glad you finally come around on Thomas P2. You were determined against him, but now you're with him. But I actually added a horse just because unpolished, coming off back-to-back wins. This scares me a little bit, so I just wanted a little coverage if I make it that far.
There you have it, $8 for Gary, and starting off with a couple of singles here. I like the guts that Gary's going to go single to start off, and then he's going to spread out. I think we're both in agreement. Race 4 is a tough race. He's going 4 deep. I'm going to, just take them all, and it's interesting. Yeah, I am jumping on the Thomas P2 bandwagon. Hopefully, he can handle the weight because I'm a pretty big dude, and I just hope that he doesn't falter tonight because I'm on board. But I'm going to single that one. We are 3 minutes away until the horse will be moving out onto the track for race number 1. Gary and I will take a closer look at this dash after the post parade.
The field for race number 1 is on parade. 1 City Lady, Chris Matthews for Nelson White and Vicky White. Number 2 is Jandal, Scott Culliver, Susie Kerwin at S&R Racing. And number 3 is Creed Hanover, Travis Culliver, Sean, Stacy, Mark Stacy, and AK Malik Stable and BC Reichelt Stables. 4 is Frisk Away, Jason Ride for Ron Waples Jr. and Dr. Sheila Atmore. And number 5 is Current Danger, Travis Henry for Vic Putty and Mike Morocco. And number 6, Yeti Set Go, Robbie Tyler for Earl McLeod and Clifton Hobbs. And number 7 is Gala Halo, Anthony Hunt for Rick Zeron and Hut Racing. And number 8, Arch Ruler, Bruce Richardson for John Holding and Morley Bosworth. It's a field of 8 for race number 1. Well, let's get a look at this field. And first up, we're going to take a look at number 3, Creed Hanover. What an outstanding effort here last time out.
It was an outstanding effort, and it never in doubt went to the lead, and it was just lights out after that. But, hopefully just having some fun on the track right now. It hasn't been on the trot on the backside yet. Now, starting to kind of get his gait back down. But, yeah, now he's back on the gallop. But, yeah, it's 3 for 8 on the season. But that last effort, it was remarkable. And I thought that this horse might be a single tonight, but geez, I don't like it when they kind of gallop through the after the post parade like that, Gary. What do you think?
Well, I mean, look, it's awfully hard to tell. And one of the things I've learned as an announcer is I really can't tell a whole lot about how a horse presents themselves. At least sometimes it just fools me. So I tend to look at the lines and what I saw last time. But yeah, maybe he's just having a laugh. Number 7, Gala Halo, though, is one that's getting the even money, the 9-5 status as the favorite in Creed Hanover 2-1. So, well, you see the speed on Gala Halo.
Yeah, and the competition, right? This one's been racing against, SBOA. Granted, made a break and was beaten by a wide margin, but it's grassroots horses. I mean, really good competition, and that's evident in the odds the horse has gone off at in all of her last efforts, or all of her outings this year. So I think that the Gala Halo is one that you certainly have to respect in here. But this post 7's no joke here at the River, and she's one that over a half-mile track, she's got 1 victory, dominant victory, and 1 break in stride, and that came at Flamborough last season. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes from post 7. I thought it was a 2-horse race between the 3 and the 7, but hopefully I'm not rethinking that now with what we've seen on the track.
Number 8, Arch Ruler, is one that got a couple of second-place finishes. Now got placed back to 3rd last time out inside pylons, but still strong performances despite post 8. Still one that you got to consider here just as at least a factor for the ticket.
I think so, yeah. It was kind of heartbreaking for me last time. I needed this one to be second on that occasion at 12-1, got placed back to 3rd, but has just turned in some real, nice efforts in each of his last 3. Post 5, post 7, post 6. Now it gets worse. Post 8 to work from, but taking support on the board, and I think he should. I mean, 4-1 is probably a bit short in my opinion, but has been racing well enough that I think you have to use one the ticket no matter where this horse draws.
Number 6, Yeti Set Go, I'll admit, is one that I'm often confused about. Sometimes she's really good, and other times not so much. I haven't really been able to figure out when she's going to be good. We'll see if that's this evening.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. Definitely one that I've had trouble getting a handle on. That's why I couldn't really put her much higher than 4th in here. I mean, she's one that hits the board with frequency, right? 9 out of 16 in the top 3 so far this season. And you're right. I mean, some nights she goes out there and produces a real big effort and gets a big piece, but other times, she's not really a factor. I think this looks like a group that she should be competitive with. And I think that she should probably land somewhere in the exotics, but for me, the Tri or Super would be the ceiling.
And one more we'll take a look at just while we're getting ready for the first race. Number 2, Jandals, is one that I used on the bottom of my ticket and you left off, but Jandals is one that sometimes can be capable, at least for a share.
Yeah, I thought she was a kind of an improving type, 2-back. It was second 3 starts ago at Flamborough, and then nice victory right here at Grand River on June the 3rd, all the way in the lead from an inside post to get today. I think this group's obviously a tougher one, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her pick up a share.
And Jandals is getting bet at 5-1, but right now it is 7 Gala Halo at 8-5 on the board, and number 3 Creed Hanover is sitting at 7-2. That seems, well, now is down to 2-1. Took that late money. Field for race number 1, taking up positions. Nice shot from the gate cam, and City Lady Jandals and Creed Hanover on the inside. In the center, Frisco and Current Danger. To the outside, Yeti said go, Gala Halo, and Arch Ruler. It's a field of 8. It's race number 1 on a warmish Wednesday as the horses are gathered in behind the gate at the river, and Creed Hanover is off stride right now. Field for race number 1 is at the start of the rough, and Current Danger is going to leave well with Jandals. Creed Hanover is way back off stride at the start, and then Yeti Set Go is racing third, and then on the outside, as they work their way into the backstretch, that is Gala Halo. Gala Halo is moving up rapidly now. It's taken over second in pursuit of Current Danger, and now on the outside, driving up Gala Halo in search of the front against Current Danger. Jandals is racing third as Gala Halo is clear to the lead. Fourth is Yeti Set Go. Frisco is fifth. Then sixth is Arch Ruler as they work their way on around the turn. And that opening quarter was 29-4. Back in seventh is City Lady. But right now, Gala Halo, 3-5 favorites got the lead. And then racing second, Current Danger. Jandals is positioned on the inside third. Frisco Ways now off stride. And racing for the Yeti Set Go is angled to the outside. And fifth is Arch Ruler. And City Lady is well back sixth. Moving up first over, getting closer, Yeti Set Go. Gala Halo's got the lead. Yeti Set Go to the outside. Now he's moving up and has a share of second. 101 is the halftime of a 29-4 opening panel as they work their way into the backstretch. Gala Halo off that 101 halftime should be the one to beat now. Yeti Set Go, though, is a closing second. Jandals went off stride. And Current Danger is third. And Arch Ruler is racing fourth. It is Gala Halo. Yeti Set Go at 8-1 is second, about 2 lengths off the lead. And on the inside, third is Current Danger. And then Arch Ruler. And they roll by 3/4. 3/4 was recorded as they race on the final turn in 1:30-3. And it is still Gala Halo leading at a length and 3/4. A little bit of urging there, but not much. And then second, Yeti Set Go. And then it is Current Danger and Arch Ruler on down the stretch drive they come. Gala Halo. Anthony Hahn sitting chilly in the bike and is going to draw up and win it comfortably by about 2-3. Then Yeti Set Go was second, and finishing third was Current Danger, and then it was Arch Ruler. 2 minutes and 4/5. Gala Halo dropped all the way down to 3-5 in the late money, Rob.
Yeah, well, it probably had a lot to do with the break behind the gates of Creed Hanover, and that kind of we thought it was potentially a 2-horse race. It kind of made it a 1-horse race, didn't it? I mean, it was still very impressive how Gala Halo got to the lead. I mean, from post 7, kept on charging on, and I mean, again, Creed Hanover just didn't look great. Didn't make a good pre-race appearance. Would not go on the trot. Just was out there galloping, and so refused the trot behind the gate, Gary, and. That's why, sometimes live handicapping is important because when you're locked into picks, I certainly couldn't hang my hat on that one after that pre-race appearance.
Well, and you were right to be noting that right away because, yeah, just the whole while we saw Creed Hanover couldn't settle down. But who did settle very nicely? Gala Halo was very much under wraps.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you saw Anthony Hahn in the final turn there, just a slight urging, and Gala Halo won with ease, really, under wraps at the wire. And, nice effort from Yeti Set Go. I mean, I thought that one raced pretty well. One of the better performances we see from her when, she's a bit of a tough nut to crack at times, but nice, performance for her to finish second.
I should mention that the inquiry sign is up pertaining to the start and number 3 Creed Hanover. Inquiry pertains to the start and 3 Creed Hanover. We get a 7-6-5-8, the outside 4 on a half-mile track to start off the evening. That's an oddity, Rob.
It is. I mean, and it's one of those ones where actually I had the 6, 7, and 8 in my top 4, Gary, but unfortunately for me, I had Creed Hanover on top. So no bueno for me, but at least I guess you could say I was close.
Well, we'll find out if you get to pitch the 3 and then be right with the 7 on top, because then you would be correct. But back in front of us is number 7, Gala Halo, a 3-year-old Archangel Bay filly, owned by Hut Racing, trained by Rick Ziron. Anthony Hahn, the winning driver. It's the first win this year, second lifetime. Gala Halo, 2 minutes, 4/5. And note the judges' ruling that number 3, Creed Hanover, was outside of the fair start pole at the start of the race, so refund 3, Creed Hanover. The first race payouts number 7, Gala Halo, 270, 210, 250. 6 Yeti set go, $4, $3, and 5 current danger, 410, $2 exactor, $9, dollar try, $16.95, dollar super, $49.75. The first race sort of finish from the top is a 5-7. DNF refund 63214. That's 5763214. field for the second on parade. One is scratch, two is get to the point. Wayne Henry for Henry Stable. Number 3 is Southwind Arturo. Scott Calder for Dominic Ladu and Robin Burke and Natasha Campbell. And number 4, Massive Ovation, Anthony Hogg for James McCaig and Jan McCaig. 5 is Promise for Life, Bruce Richardson for Rene Dion and RAW Equine and SNR Racing. Number 6, moving to the top, Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. And number 7, Upton Abbey Hanover Rodney Hughes drives and trains and owns. Field of 6, race number 2. Let's get a look at this field. We're going to start with number 2, Get to the Point, and what an outstanding race last Wednesday night. Of course, we had a lot riding on that race, and it all went down the tubes. Get to the Point romped on by. One thing I would say, Rob, though, I would say that the way that Get to the Point raced, even if Anthony Hahn would have pulled out with Massive Ovation, I think Get to the Point would have gone by.
Yeah, the more.
Oh, by the way, you are lone wolfing it too.
Yeah, the more that I watched that replay, I thought the same, Gary. I really did. I thought that there was probably no beating Get to the Point on that occasion. Surprised that I'm lone wolfing it here on this one. I will say that you did have the benefit of rushing to the front and having a lot of horses caught inside and then opening a wide margin. Insurmountable lead, really. But it was still a victory from post 7, which is not easy to do here at the river. He's been working from a lot of difficult post positions and now gets to move down to the rail tonight, which isn't always the best for trotters, but for one with as much experience as him, I do like it. So 4-1 to Get to the Point seems like a pretty big price.
And it's not like that race was just a one-off. This is a horse that won 5 of 25 last year and hit the board often, 13 out of 25. You go back to May the 15th, post 8 at Flamborough, tough post, finishes second. So Get to the Point, that wasn't just a one-off race, and I actually had Get to the Point as my 4th choice that night. I just see it winning by 8.5. Others in here. Let's take a look at number 5, Promise for Life is my top pick in here, and the recent form is good.
Yeah, definitely good recent form, and a friend of the show, Chuck C on Twitter, he's with you on this one. He said that Promise for Life's out of his virtual stable and made a big move last time and raced well. Actually finished second to Star Power Hanover, right? So how much would you like to bet on Star Power Hanover against this group? Probably be a pretty short price, but an easy winner. 7-2 on Promise for Life. This is the other one that I wanted to use and did use in the multi-legs. I think that it'll come down to trip scenario for this one, and certainly one of the main contenders in the race. And the two that I think are the ones I'm most interested in right now are 9-2 and 7-2. So I'm liking the odds board.
Number 3, Southwind Arturo. Garnet Barnsdale, Ontario Racing has this one on top. We left Southwind Arturo both off of our pick 5s, and look at the price.
Yeah, it's 1-2 right now, and one that I don't have, and neither do you in the pick 5, and it's been racing well enough, and like against the likes of Seacan, Mike the Knight, Headline Maker, and that's all in non-winners of 3. I think that Southwind Arturo is one that certainly merits consideration on here, but I think that's grossly overbet at 1-2. I really do. I think that this horse should be a much bigger price than that against this group, and there are some talented rivals he's got to go against. So it looks like an overbet for me, but one that I've got pegged for 3rd, and I think can play a major role.
And number 4, Massive Ovation. I'll let you talk about that last race because I don't think I can talk about it. People might understand what I mean. Certainly having a good year.
Yeah, Massive Ovation. And listen, it's one of those things. In the moment, I know you took it like a champ, Gary. You really did. You kind of sloughed it off, and then as the days go on, it gets a little bit tougher when you realize how big of a moment that was. And Massive Ovation, of course, the one that Gary needed to sweep the card. Not often you get a chance to do that in a 7-5 shot, and of course got stuck in, had post 6, got away in the 2-hole, and ended up getting caught in a really bad spot and shuffled way back and out of the race when the horse in front of him ended up, essentially dropping anchor. So Massive Ovation, 8-1 tonight. Interesting that, against a similar group, this horse taking no support now and really didn't race that poorly last time.
No, well, I'll let you say that. Massive ovation. No, you're right. And look at what raced well, won the start before that in this same class. So you're getting a decent price at 8-1. The one that won in this class just 2 races ago from a tougher post position as well. There's number 6, Move Into the Top, and is on the board at 18-1. Of the two that we didn't talk about, I don't know if Move Into the Top or Upton Abbey Hanover is the better one. They both are probably about similar, but one of them might get in and mess up the top 4 we talked about. Is it Moving to the Top?
I mean, moving to the top was the one that actually ended up hindering the horse Unity and Massive Ovation last time. And the one thing I will say about that one, 6-1 last time, 18-1 this time. So you're certainly, if you backed them last time, you kind of got to consider them. I don't know. I would say probably moving to the top is probably the more likely one to land in the exotics.
It is a field of 6-4, race number 2. They are taking up their positions. It'll be Get to the Point, Southwind Arturo on the inside. In the center, Massive Ovation and Promise for Life to the outside. Moving to the top, and Upton Abbey Hanover. Field of 6 for the second race. Here they come. They're at the start of the rough. Massive Ovation, Promise for Life, and moving to the top. Get to the Point on the inside. Upton Abbey Hanover and Southwind Arturo. It is Massive Ovation with the lead, but now on the outside, rushing up is Promise for Life. Promise for Life is looking to clear to the front over Massive Ovation and does so. Then third is moving to the top. Then it's a gap of 3 or 4. And Get to the Point is fourth, and then Upton Abbey Hanover and Southwind Arturo trails this field of 6 as they race on to the opening quarter. And Promise for Life has the lead as they race on past that quarter in 28 seconds. Massive Ovation is getting another pocket trip, and moving to the top is racing third and is about 4 off the lead. Then it is Get to the Point, positioned fourth, then a gap of a couple as they race off the turn. Upton Abbey Hanover. Southwind Arturo is back trailing the field. It is Promise for Life as they work their way on past the half. Halftime was recorded as they head on to the 5/8 in 58-1, a 30-1 second pedal breather for Promise for Life. Massive Ovation sits the pocket. Moving to the top is racing third and is only 3 off the lead. Now Get to the Point on the outside is starting to close some ground. It is Get to the Point as they work their way on into the backstretch. Get to the Point is going to challenge Promise for Life. Get to the Point is taking over second. Promise for Life as they hustle on to 3/4. That lead is down to a length and a half, but Promise for Life looks good on top. Get to the Point grinding on the outside. 3/4, 128-2. Massive Ovation on the inside third. And now Southwind Arturo's kicked in and taken over fourth, and then it is back to moving to the top at Upton Abbey Hanover. And Get to the Point went off stride. It is Promise for Life as the field turns for home. Massive Ovation is racing second. They come on down the stretch drive, and it is Promise for Life. Promise for Life and Bruce Richardson. No urging required. Wins it. Massive Ovation second. Then moving to the top, came on to finish third. And then Southwind Arturo, 159-2. Promise for Life, a very solid and strong effort, Rob.
Yeah, it was a real nice effort from Promise for Life, and you kind of see when this one went to the lead, it was going to be tough for the rest of them to get to him. And nice, big striding horse there, and just kept on trucking. Get to the Point, came first over, and I think would have probably finished somewhere in the top 3 anyways, if not making that miscue. Massive Ovation. Kind of an overlay tonight, right? Overlooked because the line looked a lot worse than the effort was. I know you needed him desperately that time, but still raced better than the line looks, and went off at 12-1. Southwind Arturo took all the money and ended up making a big move late, but still could only manage a 4th place finish. So if these prices hold true in the exotics, we'll probably see some pretty good payouts.
And we did discuss moving to the top, did actually move into the top 3, so that was the one that managed to upset the 4 that we talked about.
Yeah, moving to the top, the speed horse, right? You want to look at a horse that's going to, and maybe that's more his scene, right? He went to the front last time and stopped. This time around, left out for position and sat. A lot easier to follow. and try to sit a favorable trip than it is to cut it a mile, especially the fractions that he went last time. So I mean, 30-1 landing third, massive ovation second at 12-1. All of a sudden with Promise for Life taking a lot of money late, this might pay very handsomely, especially the try and the super.
5463, and also looking at Get to the Point. That's the only break that you see on the dance card. You see, pardon me, you see 1 January the 5th. So they get to the point with only one break, and that was all the way back in January. That was just an uncharacteristic miscue.
Yeah, and it may have just been, one where, it kind of, breaks his heart when he's trying to come first over and clear. He can't get to the leader, and then maybe just getting tired, he loses his action, right? But I think he's one that you want to keep an eye on for next time, because I don't really think it was a poor effort tonight, other than the mistake he made. And he's one that's certainly still trending in the right direction. But Promise for Life, very, very impressed with that victory.
Well, I was a little worried too because I went alone in the pick five with the Promise for Life, so I got away with it and made it through two legs with just singles. Promise for Life coming back in front of us. Promise for Life is a 3-year-old royalty for Life Bay Colt, owned by RAW Equine and SNR Racing. Renee Dion is the trainer. It's the second win this year, third win lifetime, and the winning drive to Bruce Richardson. The second race payouts 5, Promise for Life 580, 280, 270. 4 Massive Ovation 720 and 450, and 6 moving to the top 1140. Double of 7 and 5, $10.50. $2 exactor 50, $10 try 131.80. Dollar superfecta 393.55. The second race order finish in the top. Scratch 542136. That's scratch 542136.
Two races in the book so far here at the River, and it's kind of a logical start. Odds on favorite in the opener, and then a 9-5 choice there, Promise for Life. Nice pick by Gary Guy and Chuck C on Twitter. Sent out that he thought that one would be the one to emerge victorious in the second. Moving on to race number 3, and it's early pick 4 time here at the River. Guaranteed pool, $2,500. Let's take a look at the ticket that I've mapped out for you this evening. It's going to start with a single right here. 1 to 9 on the board, though, right now on the 2 Runaway Heiress, one that I singled in my pick 5 and happy to single again on my pick 4. Short price, but don't want to use equity elsewhere. Racing off the claim for Joe Pereira. Last 5 starts, all finished in the top 2, 3 of those being victories, and 11 for 18 in the money this year. Runaway Harris, I think, will be the winner of the third race here, but continues to take massive support at 1 to 9. The fourth race, on the other hand, is one that I think might be wide open. Villiers Claimers, 10,500 up to 15,000, and I like a couple of price horses in here. I think it's a very competitive race, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to take an all and hope that I'm right and we get a bigger number down. I will probably play some presses to the horse I like in there, namely the 4 Roselle and the 5 Tanzanian, but I'm going to take an all on this ticket. In race 5, singling the 3 Thomas P2. He's just been too good lately, and he's right back in the same class where he's won 2 in a row by a wide margin. I think he triples up tonight in race number 5. And in the 6th race, we're going to go 4 deep with the 1, 4, 5, and 9. That's Missy's Magic Band, Bastiano, Magic Wanda, and the 9 Arcanum. And that ticket right there will cost you just $5.60 for a 20-cent wager. Again, looking pretty logical with our singles, but then maybe we get a price down in those 2 races that we spread out. Again, $5.60 for a 20-cent wager. But the horses will be moving out on the track shortly for this third race. Again, it's the start of that early pick 4 guaranteed pool, $2,500. Start mapping out your winning wagers, and we'll come back, take a closer look at this third dash with Gary Guy after the post break.
field for race number 3 on parade. One Ask My Secretary, Scott Quilver, J.R. Plot, and Michelle Letarte. Number 2 is Runaway Heiress. It is Austin Surrey for Joe Pereira. 3 claims entered on number 2, Runaway Heiress. Number 3 is Maura Mappo, Jason Ryan for John Kennedy and Ralph and Sandra Pitt. And 4 is Brookdale Sienna Ben Hollingsworth for Doug Poley.
Or Brett McDonald. 5's claims.
5 is Talking Again. Claim entered. Talworth for Bruce Goyd and Allison Hepburn and Michelle Bohr. 6 is Scratch. 7 Fly Santana. Travis Cullen for Avery Longstreet. And note that number 8, Have a Connection, is going to be delayed from the post parade. He is back in the paddock with a shoe repair. Let's get a look at this field. We're going to start with number 2, Runaway Heiress, 1 to 5 on the board. You know, Rob, I fanned out in this race because I wanted to look for a vulnerable favorite, and 1 to 5, the fans don't think this one's vulnerable, but I think there's a bunch of other ones in here that might give Runaway Heiress a shot. But your top pick?
Yeah, my top pick, single in the pick 4 and the pick 5. Looks fired up on the track, too, coming off the track now, probably for an equipment adjustment. Claimed by Joe Pereira last time, claimed in each of her last 2, and she's been in the top 2 in each of her last 5 starts, 3 victories over that span, and just been in top form lately. And she draws a good post to work from, and I think this is a group that she can get the better of. So 1 to 2, obviously, for a win ticket. I mean, yikes, that's probably much too short for that, Gary. But one that I'm still happy to have singles in the multis.
Number 5, Talking Again, I think is the one that if I was single with Runaway Heiress, that's the one I'd be most afraid of, because this was a big-time money earner last year and was good here last time out winning. And Bruce Goyd has been putting up some big stats this year, especially in the win column, winning at more than 25% on the year.
Yeah, and this one's got 3 wins in her last 6, and last time's had a perfect trip. Ended up coming up the inside to get the victory, scored by half a length as the favorite. 3 for 17 on the year. I think she's got a chance in here. I guess post 5 for me is the thing I struggle with, just because there is some speed to the inside of her. Ask My Secretary, Runaway Heiress, and Maura Mappo are all going to probably leave off the gate. So it's just, where does Talking Again end up? Maybe she can outsprint some of them, but I think 7 to 1, maybe that's a shade high right now. But for me, one I'll be using in the exotics underneath.
I went out of order. We need to get back to One Ask My Secretary. I messed up Christine, but she's used to me screwing up. Number 1, Ask My Secretary. Inside post position. Almost won last time out.
Yeah, I went to the front from this exact spot and almost went all the way in the lead. Talking Again got the better of her right at the wire. Was scoring down earlier, looked pretty good on the track. I think we're going to see probably similar tactics tonight. Going to try to leave out maybe to the 2-hole trip this time, try to flip the script and capitalize off that. 5 to 1 on the board, not a bad price. Again, a lot of these odds are inflated with the the 1 to 2 offering on Runaway Heiress, though.
Number 3, Maura Mappo. John Kennedy's barn is one that I always have high regard for. He seems to get the job done quite often. And Maura Mappo is one with a couple of wins in the past 3. That last one was at Clinton, the class below this one. But she could be dangerous in here.
She could be, and she gets the spots. When she gets the spots, she can be competitive, and she's one that raises her game. And if you look, most recently, winner at Clinton. Before that, didn't get as forwardly placed as she would typically like, and she ended up finishing 4th. But you can see when she gets away with the lead or gets the 2-hole, she's usually right there at the wire. 17 career victories, hit the board in 10 of 17 this season. I think she's definitely a player underneath in here, and if things would kind of go her way and she could ever trip out perfectly, I think, she might be a win candidate as well.
And I threw number 8, Have a Connection, onto the bottom as a flyer onto my pick 5 ticket. Cameron McQueen often gets a lot out of his starts, and Travis Henry. Look, it is outside post, but now it'll be post 7. But look at the recent form on this one.
Yeah, and one that hits the board of the frequency, right? 10 of 22 in the money, and Cameron McQueen certainly has rock solid numbers and has been doing well all season. And last time, 4 to 1, or I should say 9 to 2, and this time 12-1. Again, it just depends on where does she get away, what's the trip scenario look like. She might be better served trying to come from off tonight because I think there's going to be a pretty busy front end in the early going, but one that can certainly land in the bottom end of the exotics.
And if you also look good, two starts back, this one raced at Clinton in a 7-claimer. The one that won was Moramapo. Second, from post 7, getting a pocket trip and finishing second was Have a Connection. It could be just a little bit of a flyer. Now, I want to ask you one other question. You have a key in here, and I have 5 horses. Tell the truth. You always say you're a team player. Isn't there a wee piece of you that's cheering for the 4 or 7 to win in here?
No, not at all.
No?
I mean, no. I wouldn't do that. No, because the 2 I need for me, and if it can't be me, I hope it's you.
I would. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a you-know-what kind of disturber. I would. Field is taking up their positions for race number 3. And it is Ask My Secretary and Runaway Heiress on the inside. Moramapo, Brookdale Sienna, and talking again to the outside, Fly Santana and Have a Connection. Field of 7, race number 3. Field for the 3rd is at the start of the rough. Talking again with Moramapo. Ask My Secretary. Runaway Heiress is racing 4th, and then it is Fly Santana. Have a Connection. Brookdale Sienna is back trailing the field. Into the backstretch they go. Moramapo in search of the front. Ask My Secretary is 2nd. Talking again is trying to find a seat and is looking to take back and squeeze along to the pylons 3rd. Now popping out from 2nd. Ask My Secretary wants to reclaim the lead and grab it from Moramapo. Talking again is 3rd. In front of Runaway Heiress racing 4th, and then Fly Santana, Have a Connection, and Brookdale Sienna. They race their way around that turn. 27-2 is the opening quarter. And it is Ask My Secretary who's got the front. Moramapo in the pocket, and now traveling first over. Here comes Talking again, and Runaway Heiress is going to be spotted 2nd over, and on the back of Talking again, Fly Santana 5th, and then it is Have a Connection and Brookdale Sienna. 57-1 is the halftime, and they work their way into the backstretch, and right now, romping on the lead is Talking again, who cleared in front of Ask My Secretary, and leads it by 5 or 6 lengths. Ask My Secretary is 2nd. Then racing 3rd is Runaway Heiress, and then Moramapo and Fly Santana. Have a Connection and Brookdale Sienna. Talking again is doing a lot of talking right now. Leads it by about 9 lengths. Runaway Heiress is trying to get the better of Ask My Secretary. Those two are dueling for 2nd, but about 10 back of Talking again. Moramapo, and then Have a Connection and Fly Santana and Brookdale Sienna. But Talking again and Tyler Borth is doing all the talking in the 3rd. On down the stretch drive they come, and Talking again, and now coming on to get 2nd was Runaway Heiress, and then it is Ask My Secretary at Moramapo. 155 flat. Talking again did all the talking in the 3rd, Rob.
Yeah, Talking again. That was perfect trip last time. But this time, no perfect trip needed. Talk about a dominating performance by Talking again. This horse came first over, Gary, and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I thought maybe Runaway Heiress would get a perfect trip 2nd over, and it just marched right past Ask My Secretary. It wasn't like that one stopped. Just couldn't hold this one off. That was a big 3rd quarter, and then paced the mile on 55 flat and just did so with just condescending ease. Is that 3 for 3 for you tonight?
Yeah, but we don't need to talk about that. No, actually, correction, no. Runaway Heiress.
No.
I did have Runaway Heiress, but I did have Talking again
you liked
as my 2nd one and used it. And I did talk about the vulnerable favorite. I thought there were a lot of horses in there that could take a shot at Runaway Heiress, but I didn't see Talking again racing like that.
No, it was a monstrous effort. And like I said, I can't even be upset with Runaway Heiress's performance. I mean, she was much the best of the rest. She was ended up being first over a long way. Just wasn't in the same time zone as Talking again tonight.
Well, the four that we thought the most of came in the top four, 5, 2, 1, 3. But talking again, I do have a lot of regard for Bruce Goyt's barn, and that's why I was very concerned with talking again and didn't want to go lone wolfing it on Runaway Heiress in the pick five at 3 to 5. And also, that's also how you get a pick five ticket to pay is find a favorite that you think you can get beaten.
Yeah, I think even in race two, that Promise for Life was probably a bit of a value play in the pick five, and Talking Again now should provide even a bigger knockout. And 4 to 1, that's a big number considering last time 8 to 5 in the same class.
Back in front of us is number 5, Talking Again. 7-year-old Dragon Again Bay Mare, owned by Allison Hepburn and Michelle Bohr and Bruce Goyt. Bruce is also the trainer. Tyler Borth, the winning driver. It's the 4th win this year, 20th lifetime. Talking Again. Victorious in 1:55 flat for a new season's best. The third race payouts, 5 Talking Again, 10.30, $5 and 2.50. 2 Runaway Heiress, 2.70, 2.20, and 1 Ask My Secretary, 2.40. $2 exactor, 22.50. Try, 23.65. Super, 51.75. third race, or who finished from the top, is a 32471 scratch 65. That's 32471 scratch 65. And the claims. Number 2, Runaway Heiress. The new trainer will be Richard Moreau. And 5, Talkin' Again. The new trainer, Kyle Bossons. Field for the fourth on parade. One is Why Not Haas, Travis Henry for Vic Putty, and Limco Incorporated. Number 2 is not there, but 3 is WC Kenzie Cookie Austin, sorry for Francis Guillemette. 4 is Rosella, Brent Donover, Daryl Laver, and Leanne Davidson, and Brooke Kopek. 5 is Tanzanian, Colin Keller, Joe Squires, and Bobby Weinhold Harris. Number 6, What I Need Is a Man, Travis Cullen, Jody Cullen, and A1 Staple. And number 7, Blossom on the Beach, Scott Coulter for Paul Coulter. Note that number 2, Double T Gurr, will be just coming out on the track, and there is Double T Gurr, Bruce Richardson for Peter Finnegan, and IP Finnegan. Field of 7, race number 4. I'm going to get a look at this field, but Rob, first up, I'm going to take a look at number 1, Why Not Haas, 2-1 on the board. One that you went against and decided to leave off your top 4, but is one that could be dangerous. But I do know that last race here was a little underwhelming.
It was underwhelming, but right now she looks really fired up on the track. She looks sharp out there. She gets the pole position to work from this time. So, I mean, listen, post 7, 2 back, post 6, last time, now the rail to work from. She could really turn her around in here in her second start off the claim for Vic Putty. I left her off because I decided I wanted to look for pretty big prices in this race throughout my selections. But if she was to win, I'm taking it all in my multi-leg bets, right, Kerry? So if she was to win, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, number 5, Tanzanian, is one of those ones that could give you a price 11-1, and is the one that you took on top. And, well, Tanzanian's only got 1 win in the past 25. I like your boldness here, and you do see some recent form.
Yeah, I just really have liked the way she's raced since she's been claimed by Joseph Squires. And I just thought that, a few of those starts, she's kind of gotten into some trouble. She's gotten boxed in a few times. And if you remember 2 back here at the river, she got shuffled back, had a lot of pace in the stretch, only got beat 3/4 of a length to Blossom on the Beach. And, I figure she'd be a good number in here. 13-1 on this Roan Daughter of Better's Delight right now, and I'll take a swing on her because I do think that she's not too far away from her first victory this season.
Number 3, WC Kenzie Cookie, is one that's really tough to bet against in terms of the win because loves to win. 10 wins on the year, 7 wins last year, but 10 out of 21 this year. And the barn of Francis Guillemette putting up some strong numbers, especially in the win column as well.
Yeah, it's not often you see a claimer almost hitting at a 50% win rate, and that's what WC Kenzie Cookie's been doing. And I was a little bit concerned, leaving the barn of Tyler Nostad. She has got so much success there, but she turned in a real solid effort last time to be the runner-up to Stonebridge Drama in this class. So I think that Francis Guillemette has this one figured out. 3-5 on the board right now. I think that is a tad short on her. I think that she should be a better price than that right now, but I do think that she's one of the top contenders in the race.
And I'll let you in on a little secret with 4, Rosella. I originally had this one on my pick 5, but then decided to go 5 deep on the third race, which then limited me to 4 horses here. When you leave a horse off of your pick 5 after you put it in place, that's the one that often wins on you. And Rosella, look, that last race wasn't great and didn't finish up strongly and made a break to start before it, but fine form before that and could be dangerous.
Yeah, and one that loves the barn of Daryl Laver. I can't stress that enough. She got claimed back by these connections. She won 2 in a row, 3 of her first 5, and she had been hitting the board with frequency. She made a break 2 back, and last time I'm willing to just forgive her for that effort because now she resurfaces on Lasix for the first time. So, if that brings her back to where she was racing, 4 or 5 starts ago, back to that level of performance, I think she'll be right there with these, and I figured she'd be a nice price on the board. 9-1 right now in Rosella. I like that as well. So the 2 in here that I'm really intrigued by are Rosella and the 5 Tanzanian. I'm just hoping they can somehow both, make their way onto the exotics.
I used 7 Blossom on the Beach for second and used this one for 4th. And yeah, the post position works against her. She's a tough horse, though, to just leave right off of your top 3.
Yeah, she is. I mean, last time she closed to be 4th from that spot, and I think she'll probably be involved tonight. And 12-1's an overlay on Blossom on the Beach, all the way up from a morning line of just 2-1.
Well, an interesting dash, the 4th race, and We have right now WC Kenzie Cookie as the even money favorite, but Rob has 5 Tanzanian at 11 to 1, and I'm on the inside of Why Not Haas at 5 to 2. Why Not Haas and Double T Gur on the inside with their positions in the center. WC Kenzie Cookie, Rosella, and Tanzanian to the outside. What I Need Is a Man and Blossom on the Beach. Field of 7, race number 4. Here they come. And WC Kenzie Cookie has broken stride. Rosella leaves with Why Not Haas, and then that is Tanzanian as they fire into the turn. Why Not Haas is going to come right out from the inside and get the lead. Rosella is out well to fill the pocket, and then What I Need Is a Man is racing third, and fourth is Tanzanian. Double T Gur, Blossom of the Beach is second from last, and WC Kenzie Cookie with that early break. Why Not Haas at 3 to 1's got the lead right now for Travis Henry. Rosella's getting a trip. Then What I Need Is a Man is on the inside and is third, 3 off the lead, 27-3, a solid opening quarter. Tanzanian is racing fourth, and then it is Double T Gur and Blossom on the Beach as they race off the turn. Why Not Haas has the lead. Rosella is getting the trip. Why Not Haas and Rosella as they come towards us, and What I Need Is a Man is still on the inside, 3 off the lead as they come on up to the half, and then Tanzanian is racing fourth, and now What I Need Is a Man is going to pop to the outside, and Tanzanian's going to get live cover. 58 seconds flat as the halftime as they work their way on into the backstretch, and that is Why Not Haas, and What I Need Is a Man is moving on the outside. Rosella is racing third. Tanzanian is positioned fourth, and Blossom of the Beach is kicking in but still has lots of work to do. And then Double T Gur, Why Not Haas, and What I Need Is a Man, and now Tanzanian is pulled out. And on the inside, Rosella is racing fourth. It is What I Need Is a Man and Why Not Haas. What I Need Is a Man leads it by half a length now, and Why Not Haas is on the inside. And then it is Tanzanian as the field races towards the top of the stretch, and Blossom of the Beach is now blossoming and is out there 4 wide. They turn for home. What I Need Is a Man. Tanzanian, Blossom of the Beach, and on the inside, Why Not Haas. On down the stretch, Rob, they come. It is Tanzanian. Tanzanian is going to score. Blossom on the Beach is in a place photo with What I Need Is a Man and Why Not Haas. 157-3. Tanzanian at 5 to 1. Take a bow, Rob. That's a nice effort.
All right, well, thanks, Gary. Well, Colin Kelly should take the bow, as well as this beautiful roan-looking mare here, Tanzanian. One I've been chasing, and you know that. I've been fond of her for a while. I was even chasing her at Western Fair before here at the River. And it was interesting because she went to move out second over, took a bit of a funny step, and instead of driving on, Colin Kelly kind of gathered up and waited. And I think that was really the difference here, because then she was able to accelerate later on. You could tell she was really swelling up there when she came at the outside, when she moved into the second over position and came off the turn really well, kind of like a speedboat in the stretch to get up for the victory. 5 to 1, and finally a good result for yours truly.
And there is the finish. It's close for second. We'll see if Blossom on the Beach got up for second. I thought so. Oh, yes. And then number 6, What I Need Is a Man, actually raced pretty darn well.
Yeah, it did race pretty well. Came first over and kind of battled it out, a long way before finally kind of, forging to the lead, and Tanzanian obviously coming off that cover. And Blossom on the Beach, one that we thought that bit of an overlay, really, right? Always competitive in this field. Yeah, post 7, but she can kind of do it from anywhere. Gets up for second at 16 to 1, and this should pay pretty well, especially with WC Kenzie Cookie making that early miscue and missing everything.
I'll tell you, at the top of the stretch, I actually thought Blossom of the Beach was going to win.
And break my heart.
Well, and I wasn't actually cheering for that, but I shouldn't say that. I should have said I was cheering for it.
You were quietly.
The back in front of us is number 5, Tanzanian. A roan 8-year-old Better's Delight mare owned by Bobby Weinhold Harris. Joe Squires, the trainer. Colin Kelly is called the winning driver. First win this year. 8th lifetime, Tanzanian, 157-3. The fourth race payouts 5 Tanzanian 1320, 720 and 410. 7 Blossom on the Beach 1020 and 450 and 6 What I Need Is a Man 360. $2 exactor 135.60. Dollar try 185.35. Dollar super 642.90. The fourth race order of finish from the top is a 4576132. That's 4576132. Field for race 5 on parade. 1 is Off-Road Hanover, Mike Whalen for Dr. John Chandler. Number 2 is Headline Maker, Austin Surrey for Dag Henriksen and Gerald Haggerty. And 3 is Thomas P2, Wayne Henry for Mark Wamp. 4 is Trade Barrier, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. 5 is Unpolished, Jay Harris for Joe Squires and Crazy Parrot Farm. Number 6 is Say Something, Tyler Borth for Desiree Jones and Gino Toscani. And number 7 is Willie Wynn, Garrett Rooney for Greg Price and Dominic DeSantis and Tom Jacobs. Field of 7 for the 5th. The 8 is out, and it's Thomas's 70th birthday. Happy birthday to Thomas. This is his 5th race trot, and let's get a look at the field. Thomas P2. Rob, you come on over and join the Thomas P2 team.
I have. I've jumped on the bandwagon of Thomas P2. You've been telling me how great this horse is. Now I'm finally going to listen to you. And he's 3-5 on the board. One that I singled, in my multi-leg wagers. Of course, I went dead because I singled Runaway Heiress. But I think you're still alive, aren't you, Gary?
Yeah, and I have an extra cover with Unpolished.
And they're paying fantastic, by the way. $126 for 20 cents on Thomas P2 at 3-5. And if you get Unpolished down, well, $490 for just a 20-cent bet, Gary.
Yeah, but I do think Thomas P2 is clearly very strong, much the best.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I think that those last 2 efforts have just been so dominant. He comes back in the same class. He gets a better post of work from this time, and has not shown any signs of slowing down at all. And one that you would mention so often, that he wins races in bunches. And when he gets good, it's tough for anyone to beat him. So it looks like a prime spot from the triple up.
I remember your line last race when you didn't take him, and you said maybe you should have looked. That June 8th line was the clue. And I said, how about all the other wins, too? Maybe they were also the clue.
Yeah, well, thanks for the reminder. I appreciate that.
Why not? I'm just here to bug you. Number 3, Thomas P2, the 4-5 favorite. But look, you went with number 6, Say Something. It's stepping up here. That's saying something that you like this one for second in here, and at 25-1.
Yeah, Say Something's one that I think's always had some ability, and last year made nearly $47,000, went over 15, but it raced pretty well. Was driven a lot by her owner, Gino Toscani, last season. This year, he's driven a couple times, but he's also handed the lines off. Last 2 efforts, both winning ones in the Prospect Series, so facing much tougher, but should like the addition of Tyler Borth in the bike tonight. And 24-1, I thought this horse would be a price, but not that big of a price. So I'm going to try to Say Something into the exotics underneath Thomas P2.
Tyler Borth's really been impressing me of late with his driving. He's really become pretty accomplished, and he's got some pretty nice numbers this year. Number 2, Headline Maker, is one that comes in off of a pretty confident-looking win at Flamborough. Now it's been off 3 weeks or so, or a little bit more than that.
Yeah, Headline Maker is one that I thought raced really well last time, and that was first time for Austin Sorey in the bike, right? So I think this horse might even just keep stepping forward. Hit the board last 2 since Austin's jumped in the sulky, and now 14-1 this evening. I think definitely when you want to have underneath in the exacta and the trifecta. I really think that Headline Maker is getting overlooked right now.
And there's my second choice, number 5, Unpolished. Joe Squires hopes to win races 4 and 5. This one's coming in on a win streak, up in tougher, but certainly racing well.
Yeah, listen, I can't take anything away from the way she's been racing. She's won 3 in a row. And again, condition claimer company with a non-winners of 30,000 designation on some of those races. Now it's an open, non-winners 50,000 life. That's what made me shy away. But one that I'll be cheering for if Thomas P2 can't win.
Well, Thomas P2 is going to go off at 3-5, and Unpolished is 5-2. We'll get a look at this field in behind the gate right now. Off-Road Hanover, Headline Maker on the inside. Thomas P2, Trade Barrier, and Unpolished in the center. On the outside, Say Something, Willie Wynn. It's a field of 7 for race number 5, and They're at the start of the round. Thomas P2 and Unpolished is gunning out from the outside. Then Off-Road Hanover and Headline Maker. Then it is back to Trade Barrier and Say Something. And Willie Wynn is relaxed away, trailing the field. Unpolished leads right now by 4 over Thomas P2. Headline Maker is racing position third. Then it is Off-Road Hanover, Willie Wynn. And then back to Trade Barrier and Say Something is trailing the field. Unpolished at 3-1 leads the 1-5 Thomas P2, who's now closing up that gap as it now is just about 2 lengths off the lead of Unpolished and getting closer. 28-3 the opening quarter. Willie Wynn is traveling on the outside, and then it is Headline Maker racing fourth in an Off-Road Hanover, Trade Barrier, and back to Say Something. It is Unpolished who's got the lead. Thomas P2 and Wayne Henry patiently riding along in the pocket. Willie Wynn is working first over, and Headline Maker is racing position to fourth, and now Willie Wynn goes off stride. Headline Maker is racing third, and then it is Off-Road Hanover. 59 seconds was the halftime, a 30-2 second panel breather, and it is Unpolished and Thomas P2. And Headline Maker is racing third. Off-Road Hanover, then Trade Barrier and Say Something. And back to Willie Wynn, but Unpolished continues on. It is Unpolished, unhurried right now, just cruising along at a lead of about 2 1/4. Thomas P2 trying to stay close, looking for a late rally, and now he's moving up. And then Headline Maker third, and then Trade Barrier looking to trade positions with Off-Road Hanover, and then Say Something. 3/4, 1:28-2, and it is Unpolished, but on the outside Thomas P2 as they turn for home. Unpolished is dogging gamely though, and Thomas P2 is still working. It is Unpolished and Thomas P2. Unpolished on the inside is going to keep on going. Unpolished beats Thomas P2. Headline Maker and Trade Barrier 158-3. Full marks, Rob, for Unpolished as Thomas P2 could not polish off the horse from post position 5.
Yeah, I could not get there. Perfect 2-hole trip, and I thought maybe he might, resurge on the far turn there and maybe get past this one, but Unpolished would not be denied for the victory here. And, now it's time for you to take a bow, Gary. This is a big pick 5 ticket.
Well, every once in a while, you got to get something right, but I was really impressed with Unpolished. I thought Thomas P2 was going to get by.
Yeah, I listen. I did too, but at the end of the day, this is $489 for a 20-cent wager, and that's a real hefty payout here on Unpolished, and one that I kind of underestimated here. I put her in the 4th spot. Wasn't sure how she'd transition to this class, but she did so with authority. That was a monstrous effort, especially considering. I mean, again, Thomas P2. Clearly best of the rest, and there's a wide margin back to the 3rd place finisher.
Well, I went too deep because I was a little concerned with Unpolished. I liked Thomas P2 obviously as the winner, but Unpolished, lived up to that concern that I had. And then Headline Maker and Trade Barrier, and back-to-back wins for Joe Squires, Rob.
Yeah, back-to-back. That's what I'm kind of lamenting right now, right? Gets the job done with Tanzanian. I should have, played the barn angle and come back to this one and, listen to you and use this one in some Maltese. But not the case tonight, but definitely a good night for that barn.
Well, wheeling back in front of us is number 5, Unpolished, a 4-year-old Muscles Princetonian brown mare, owned by Joe Squires and Crazy Parrot Farm. Joe Squires back-to-back training wins, taking races 4 and 5. Jay Harris, the Green Arrow, the winning driver, is the 4th win this year, 9th lifetime Unpolished, and it is Thomas's 70th birthday, the 5th race in honor of Thomas's birthday. Happy birthday, Thomas. The 5th race, payouts 5 Unpolished, 890, 290, 270, 3 Thomas P2, 210, 210, and 2 Headline maker 330. The pick five on a dollar ticket 2447.65. Ka-ching. $2 exactor 1230. Dollar try. 2260. Dollar super 191.35. The fifth race, or a finish from the top, 5324167. That's 5324167. Field 4, race number 6 on parade. 1, Missy's Magic Man. Jason Ryan for Ron Corbett. Number 2 is Draven Hanover. Jay Harris for Caitlin Graham. Steve Mihalik. And number 3 is Mr. Arch. Garrett Rooney for Joe Shaw and Bill Shaw. Number 4 is Bastiano. It is Brett McDonough for Don Lindsay and Bernie Barr. And 5, Magic Wanda. Scott Young for Jerry Duford and Homestretch Holdings and Lloyd and Barbara Tiley. Number 6 is All Out Henry. Pam Forkey. Drives and trains and owns. Number 7 is Herb's Journey. Scott Coulter, Duncan Brewer, and Michelle Brennan and Randall Urquhart. Number 8 is Magnificent 7. Tyler Borth for Mark Goddard and Brandon Guerrera. And number 9 is Arcanum. Colin Kelly for Christina Anderson and Ken Weiss. It is a field of 9 for race number 6, featuring the Super High 5. And, well, Rob, we have quite a substantial difference of opinion in this race. And I'll let you start off with Bastiano, who didn't get the job done last time, but was a winner just 2 races ago.
Yeah, I came back to Bastiano. I needed this one last time, and didn't really race to his strength. Right, he likes to be on the engine. He sat in the 2-hole, never looked comfortable in that one. 30 cents the dollar on that occasion, and kind of just backed away. It wasn't like he got locked in. He really didn't have much to offer in the stretch. He came home in 30. He came home in 32 seconds. The race came home, quite slow on the end of it as well. I just think he's got big-time rebound potential. I think if he gets to the front this time around, he can keep on going. A little bit surprised he's not taking more support right now, and 5-1 on the board.
Number 1, Missy's Magic Man, is one that, 3 consecutive runner-up finishes. 2 of them came close to winning, and was second to Magic Wanda, who was the winner last time out. Missy's Magic Man brings in form and the inside.
Yeah, tough trip last time too. Went first over quite a ways, and I thought raced really well at 12-1 before that. Finished second to Bastiano, sitting a 2-hole trip to that rival, and like you mentioned, 3 consecutive runner-up finishes right now. It looks really sharp on the track and has early speed. I thought this one would take a little more support than he's getting right now. He's 7-1 on the board, and that's substantially higher than I expected on one that I think should be able to work out a pretty favorable trip from the pole position.
And Rob, somebody told me once, if you like the 1, you got to like the 9. Arcanum.
Yeah, Arcanum, interesting one for me. 2 for 2 this season, dominating victories, obviously against easier at Hanover. One that I thought had a lot of promise earlier on in his career. Last year, 0 for 10, just 8,000 made. So I mean, one that probably kind of fell in some hard times, but maybe now he's on the rebound and trending in the right direction. So if he follows out Missy's Magic Man, that one gets away well. Maybe he can trip out. 6-1 on the board right now. I thought you'd have to get that or more on this one from the trailing post, but Arcanum's definitely one that I think you need to have everywhere in the exotics.
Number 5, Magic Wanda, one that I lone wolfed last time out at 7-1. I don't get 7-1 in this one. 4-5, but still my top pick. Your 4th one.
Yeah, solely because we're not going to get that value, right? I mean, last time, you get 7-1 on this one, and she races from off the pace, which, she's not one that really boasts a lot of early speed, and they had to kind of crawl home for her to get into it. She came home in 31 seconds, but was still able to get the better of Missy's Magic Man and win by a neck. Even money this time around, I just can't do it. I can't get there at a short price on Magic Wanda. I think that, you don't want to miss out on 7-1 last time. We always usually say, Gary, you don't want to miss the wedding and then go to the funeral, especially when it's at even money.
Yeah, well, you did miss the wedding last time, so you're not going to bother with it this time and show up at the funeral. Number 3, Mr. Arch. Only 1 win on the year, but one that definitely, I think, has a shot to get onto the ticket and help it pay a little.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised this one's going off such a big number. I mean, we see Missy's Magic Man now coming down to 5-2. Mr. Arch is one that I thought is the one you want to have on your tickets as a bit of a price play. I didn't expect him to be this big of a number, though, from post 3. 25-1 on the board right now on Mr. Arch. He's hit the board with frequency recently. You can see he finished 3rd last time, 2nd before that. And I just think he's a kind of a trip horse in here that should be able to land somewhere on that high 5 ticket.
Well, it is an interesting field of trotters for this sixth race, and you're on Bastiano at 5-2. Prices come down a little bit, and Magic Wanda now favored at 8-5 is my top one. Nice field of 9. Missy's Magic Man, Draven Hanover, Mr. Arch on the inside of the center. Bastiano, Magic Wanda, the outside, followed Henry, Herb's Journey, Magnificent 7. And the second tier, Arcanum. Field of 9, race number 6. Here they come. Field for the 6th race is at the start of the rough, and Bastiano is going to get out well. Missy's Magic Man and Draven Hanover as they stride on into that turn. Missy's Magic Man and Draven Hanover inside advantage, and Bastiano still pressing on. Bastiano's in search of the lead. Magic Wanda has come out 4th, and then Arcanum and All Out Henry back to Mr. Arch, and then it is Herb's Journey and Magnificent 7, and Bastiano is taken over now. It is Bastiano at 7-2 with a temporary lead as Missy's Magic Man is going to come right back around and get the front, and racing third, Draven Hanover. Magic Wanda is racing on the inside 4th. Then it is Arcanum and All Out Henry from the backfield. Magnificent 7 on the inside is Mr. Arch. Herb's Journey is trailing the field. 28-2 the opening quarter, and Missy's Magic Man has the lead for Jason Ryan, Bastiano, and Brett McDonald in tow in the pocket. Draven Hanover and Jay Harris to the inside third. Now here comes Magic Wanda and Scott Young to brave it first over, giving cover to Arcanum, and Colin Kelly second over fifth. 58-4 was the halftime. Then it is All Out Henry as they work their way into the backstretch. And then on the inside is Mr. Arch, and on the outside is Magnificent 7, and then Herb's Journey. Missy's Magic Man has got the lead. Bastiano is getting the trip, but on the outside is Magic Wanda moving up a little bit closer, and then it is Draven Hanover who's 4th, and Arcanum is racing 5th, and then All Out Henry. 3/4 is up off that 58-4 halftime. 3/4 128. Missy's Magic Man, Magic Wanda. Bastiano's racing 3rd, and 4th is Draven Hanover, and from the backfield kicking in late is Herb's Journey, and scooting through to the inside is All Out Henry. Missy's Magic Man as they turn for home. Magic Wanda. Now Bastiano fires to the inside. Missy's Magic Man continues on the inside. Bastiano. Missy's Magic Man gets the win. Then Bastiano. Draven Hanover was able to come on and pick up 3rd, and Magic Wanda was 4th. 158-2. Missy's Magic Man, well off of 3 consecutive runner-up finishes, now gets the winner's circle, Rob.
Yeah, these were the 2 horses that I liked, and the problem for me is I don't have Draven Hanover in the 3rd spot. I thought that these 2 would kind of decide it and be the pace setters. I thought Bastiano might cut it out, but Missy's Magic Man had other ideas and did not want to sit in the pocket tonight. So 5-2, it's definitely down from that price we saw earlier at 7-1, but still not a bad number on one that figured to be part of the early pace scenario.
And driven very aggressively, and Jason Ryan knew that he had a lot of horse, and dug in nicely too, because Bastiano got a trip, just couldn't get by a very sharp Missy's Magic Man.
Yeah, Bastiano, say a classy veteran in his own right, and it's had a 2-hole trip, and I still don't know if that's really his best trip. As good as it can be and favorable as a pocket trip can be, I think he's one that likes to be on the front, but a solid effort to finish second nonetheless.
Magic Wanda kind of hung a little bit. I thought this was going to keep on coming, but she just kind of tired out. And Draven Hanover at 21-1 was my 4th choice. Now, actually managed to step in front of Magic Wanda, who got a lot of love. Although at Henry at 30-1 to make the ticket pay.
Yeah, I think this ticket's going to pay pretty well, actually, all things considered. Magic Wanda gets relegated back to 4th. And the top 2 really didn't take all that much support throughout the betting. I mean, they were taking support here and there, but Missy's Magic Man took late money. Draven Hanover really, I think, blows it up in the 3rd spot at 21-1. It's had a nice trip and just had to trot in the stretch to get back past Magic Wanda. So congrats to those who have this one.
Well, coming back in front of us is one Missy's Magic Man, a 6-year-old Cadabra bay gelding, owned by Ron Corbett, trained by Jason Ryan, and also Jason Ryan, Ricky Bobby, the winning driver. It's the 3rd win this year, 20th lifetime, Missy's Magic Man, 158-2. The sixth race payouts number 1, Missy's Magic Man, 730, 310, 310, 4 Bastiano, 390, 280, and 2 Draven Hanover, 470. The dollar high 5, 2600, 74, 75. Good ching. $2 exactor, 37, $40 tribe, 91.35. The dollar win for 1100, 54.80. The sixth race order finish from the top is a 139245678. That's 139245678.
Beautiful shot of the Aurora sky brought to you by our wonderful broadcast team here at Grand River Raceway, always doing a fantastic job. Well, that Super High Five had about a $500 carryover and paid just over $500 for 20 cents. Kind of one that was gettable, inside numbers for the most part, and a couple of logical horses finishing 1-2 with a long shot getting in between the 6-5 favorite and fourth. But if it's late pick four time, it's one of my favorite times because it's my opportunity to map out a winning ticket and go home a winner here at the River. So getting started right here in race 7 is the late pick four. Let's take a look at my ticket, and I'm going to kind of go thin early and spread out late. I think the finale tonight is a very difficult contest. So in race 7, I'm going to only go 2 deep with the 1 and 3. I do lean to Cal Hanover, the 1, Bruce Goit. We saw that trainer have a nice win earlier this evening, and I think this one is primed for a big effort tonight. That's the 1, Cal Hanover. But May 2-4 is intriguing in here. Kyle Boston's and Colin Kelly racing, back off a bit of a layoff, and one that I think can maybe make some noise at a price. In race number 8, that's where I'm going to single the 3, Astra de Harras, and I just think that this one is really in a good spot here. Inside post to work from, has been leaving from the outside post in the last 2. Austin Story aboard for the second consecutive start. I'm going to single that one. Take a stand there and then spread out. I think the last 2 races tonight, there's some opportunities for some prices. The 1, Prince Adair, the 2, Shadow Warrior, the 4, Galtiero Hanover, and the 6, Rockin' My Dream, and race 9, 4 deep there. And then I almost hit the all button again tonight, but if I did it twice in one night, I would never forgive myself. So on race 10, I went 6 deep. So I'm using 6 of the 9 horses, the 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. I think that is going to be one fantastic race to close it out. Another Super High 5 event, and I think it's a wide open contest. So 6 deep there, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. I think Gary Guy is about to chime in.
I'm going to chime in. I'll throw you a pick here. I'm going to take a single in each of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. 1, 1, 6, and then all. I'm going to load it up into the 10th and see if I can get by 3 singles and be sitting pretty.
I like it. I like it whenever someone takes a stand. That's what Gary's going to do. He said he's going 3 singles, and he's going against my single in the 8th race. So we both can't be winners. He's going to single the 1, All Muscle and Sass. I'm going to stick with Astra du Hurrah, but he's going to take the All Burger in the finale. We'll see who comes out on top. Hopefully one of us cashes, because I could certainly use it. 2 minutes away until the horses will be moving out on the track for race number 7. It is the start of that late pick 4 wager. Start mapping out your winning tickets for that one, and we'll come back, take a closer look at the field after the post break.
Field for the 7th on parade. 1, Cal Hanover, Brian McDonough for Bruce Godd and Craig Ellis. Number 2 is American Cold Austin Story for Stefan Larocque and Pierre Strasberg. Number 3 is May 2-4, Colin Kelly for Kyle Boston and Gary Bickford. 4 is Larjon Lucky. Anthony Hahn for Kyle Bossens and Steve Quinn and Glenda Winkleman. And number 5 is Young Drunk Punk. Tyler Borth for Lindsey Kerr and David Dayton and Derek Romano. Number 6, a rough trade. Travis Cullen for Kayla Henry.
Claims on 1 and 5.
Note there are claims on 1 Cal Hanover and 5 Young Drunk Punk. Number 7, Easy Flyer. Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. And number 8, Doc Finelli. Jason Ryan for John Kennedy and Allison Kennedy. Field of 8, race number 7. Let's get a look at this field. Note there are claims in 1 Cal Hanover and 5 Young Drunk Punk. And Rob, we both like Cal Hanover on top. Second start for Bruce Goy. And that was a decent mile at Georgian Downs in terms of speed last time out. But also look at the previous 2 and a win at Flamborough in 56, May the 29th.
Yeah, and it was a good effort when you consider, too. It was in against, is it Friday, yet in first glance. I mean, those 2 head and shoulders the best in that effort at Georgian Downs. It was an optional $8,500 claimer. And this one kind of got a little bit unlucky to get shuffled back and then kind of came through again in the stretch to get up for third. Paced a big third quarter in 27-1. Pole position to work from it against straight claimers again. I think you have to like his chances. Second start for Bruce Goyt, and we've seen the wonderful things that he's done lately. So 3 to 5 on the board. I didn't want to side against him. So, not one I'm singling, but I do think he's the most likely winner.
Number 3, May 2-4 is one that you respect, and May 2-4 hasn't raced since the 23rd of February. That's the only reason why I passed, but boy, that qualifier makes you think, maybe I should have just not passed.
Yeah, he doesn't need to really step up his game much, if at all, from that qualifier to have a chance in here. And this horse has raced fantastic for these connections in the past, and it was the previous stint with him. I think he had 3 victories. And one that's capable of much better than what he's been showing. So I'm looking at those lines saying, okay, I'll just take them with a grain of salt and hope that the time away has now, made him into the horse maybe he was before. The qualifier suggests he might be 10-1 on the board, now 9-1. That's a monster price on May 2-4. Maybe needs to start to get acclimated again, but I think this is the night you want to have this one at least somewhere in your exotics.
Another thing that jumps off the page is that mark taken here last year of 153. That's a big mark compared with this field. Number 5, Young Drunk Punk. The claim is in. Comes in from Sarnia. Races for Lindsey Kerr, who's sporting a 340 training average, and Tyler Borth's rolling as well.
Yeah, you've got to like the fact this one, gets back down, I think, to a spot should be more competitive. Race for 10,000 last time and 12,000 before that, an optional 12,000 claimer. We're all big guys, probably, better than this group. So I think that Young Drunk Punk's one that you've got to give consideration to in here. Just a matter of how the trip scenario goes. I think that we're going to see speed, obviously, from the favorite on the rail. I'm hoping May 2-4 kind of fires out of there, taking support net on a 9-2 on that one. And Young Drunk Punk, to me, might be one that can just, maybe his ceiling's the bottom end of the try or the super tonight based on trip scenario.
And what jumps off the page is the last time this one raced in an optional 85, won by 10.5 lengths. Now fired out early, but nonetheless, that does jump out. And number 7, Easy Flyer, not an easy post position, but brings in form.
Yeah, one that's in really good form as of late, and last time only got beat a neck. If it wasn't for post 7, I'd have this one much higher in my projections. 13-1 on the board, it's a big number. I know our friend Chuck C likes this one as well.
Well, we'll see how Chuck fares, but we are going to see very shortly because Cal Hanover and American Colt taking up position on the inside with May 2-4 in the center. Larjon Lucky, Young Drunk Punk into the outside rough trade, Easy Flyer, and Doc Finelli. Field of 8. Race number 7. It is post time, and here they come. Field of 8 for the 7th race. Into the stretch. Gathering speed, approaching the start. And And they're off. Cal Hanover, American Colt, and May 2-4. Easy Flyer from the outside. Larjon Lucky as they drive it into the turn. But Cal Hanover using that post one advantage to take the lead. American Colt is second. May 2-4. Larjon Lucky. Then it is Easy Flyer, Young Drunk Punk, and back to Rough Trade, and Doc Finelli's trailing the field. Cal Hanover. And Brett McDonald has the lead as they race their way on to the opening quarter. American Colt and May 2-4. And Larjon Lucky racing fourth. Easy Flyer left from an outside post and then tucked down to the inside fifth in front of Young Drunk Pung. Trailing pair Rough Trade and Doc Finelli. 28 seconds opening quarter. Cal Hanover now looks for that second quarter breather. And American Colt is still on the inside. And May 2-4. And Larjon Lucky. Nobody's popped out just yet as Cal Hanover gets to breeze along on the lead. And now stepping out, here comes Easy Flyer, being followed by Young Drunk Pung. Trailing pair Rough Trade and Doc Finelli. Cal Hanover up at 28-second opening quarter, gets a half of 58 and 2 and a 30 and 2 second pedal. And American Colt is bravening up in the pocket position, and Easy Flyer on the outside has moved up and is only about 2 1/4 off the lead. May 2-4 is racing fourth, and now Young Drunk Punk is fired on the outside second over and is getting closer. Larjon Lucky, then Rough Trade and Doc Finelli, but it's still Cal Hanover, and they hustle on to 3/4. Cal Hanover maintains a lead of about a length and a quarter. Easy Flyer grinding away. Rough Trade went off stride. American Colt is racing third as they're reaching onto that final turn. 3/4, 127 and 4. And Cal Hanover bravened up on that second pedal and now opens a lead of a length and 3/4. Easy Flyer is second. Young Drunk Punk and American Colt. And on the outside, Doc Finelli, and on the inside, May 2-4 on down the stretch ride. And Cal Hanover is game. Cal Hanover is going to win it. Then Young Drunk Punk came on to get second. And then it's between American Colt and Easy Flyer. 157 and 3. Cal Hanover 7-5. Lived up to that favorite status. And the nice little breather in the second panel seemed to be a big part of the story.
Yeah, it certainly was. But I mean, I think he was much the best in there. You know, went to the early lead as expected from the pole position and just kept on going. I mean, it also helps that, you know, he ends up getting a long price horse in the pocket behind him to get a little bit of separation, and then, you know, Easy Flyer in the stretch to kind of win with ease. But 7-5, the price floated up, right? We saw him go odds on through most of the betting cycle, Gary, but then floated up late.
That was actually a pretty fair price because I did think Cal Hanover was the one to beat. We both had this one on top. And also, it kind of helps that nobody really came out and moved at him very much until a little later when he had definitely been able to get enough of the pace scenario that fit him well.
Yeah, no one really was in a hurry to sacrifice there, right? I mean, you got a horse that's well meant on the engine, and if you do make the move first over, it's going to be difficult for you to get a piece. But Easy Flyer still ended up finishing, you know, third at 9-1. Young Drunk Punk came on for the place spot. But, you know, Bruce Goy continues to do good things, you know, batting .388 going into that race, and another victory for that conditioner.
Well, I had a 157 as my top three, but I can tell you I did not have American Colt, and that's a tough one to get off that last line at Mohawk, beating 20.5 lengths.
Yeah, I didn't see him landing the 2-hole in here, and I certainly didn't see him landing on the superfecta either, but should definitely help with the payout wager.
Back in front of us is number 1, Cal Hanover. 6-year-old sports rider Bay Gelding, owned by Craig Ellis. Bruce Goyt is the trainer. Brett McDonald's the winning driver. It is the 4th win for Cal Hanover. Training double for Bruce Goyt. Mile of 157 and 3. The 7th race payouts: 1 Cal Hanover, $4.90, $3.40, and $2.90. 5 Young Drunk Punk, $4, $3.10. 7 Easy Flyer, $4.40. Dollar pick 3, $46.95. The $2 exactor 14.30, dollar try 35.05, dollar super 338.40. Seventh race, order of finish from the top is a 14562 That's 14562 And the claim. One Cal head up, the new trainer will be Michael Carther. And 5 Young Drunk Punk. The new trainer will be Harold Wilson. field for the 8th race on parade. One is All Muscle and Sass, Travis Culliver, Jody Cullen, and A1 stable. 2 is Scratch, 3 is Stray, 2 Hurrah, Austin Sorry for Jenny Gurriel. And 4 Hot Fudge Sunday, Alfie Carroll for Richard Carroll and Angela Carroll. 5 is Field Gunner, Travis Henry for Jordan Summer and Blue Shoe Investment. And number 6, Rose Run Why Not, Scott Young for Brian Lawrence. 7 is Archway Lucky, Wayne Henry for George Henry, William Checkley. 8 is Mike the Knight, Anthony Hahn for Dave Holiday and Ben Holiday. And 9 is Thunder Robs, Paul McKenzie for Courtney Robson. It's a field of 8 for race number 8. Let's get a look at this field. Note it's the Holstein Ontario 2020 Master Breeders Race. And let's get a look at first up, your first one, Astray Du Hurrah. Boy, that last race, not a lot of hurrah about that one, but certainly shows some decent form in the 2 previous starts.
Yeah, we can forgive that last one. Post 8, Georgian Downs got away 8th, never really came forward at all. Decent field too. Hawaii was the winner. Bautista was second. That horse is a middle condition type horse at Mohawk Park, and right now I like the way this one looks in the track, scoring down nicely for Austin Sorey, and I was actually hoping that now second time that Teamster's aboard, maybe we'll see this one summon some speed early off the gate. Inherits post 2, so no better time to push the go button.
And what does jump out, even though the race itself is not much, 56 and 4 back half, so at least they flashed a big back half to show that speed to get ready for this one. Number 1, All Muscle and Sass is the 3-2 betting favorite. Earned a lot of money last year, although a lot of that was in one race, earned about $21,500. They won the Harvest Series in November, early on when Jody Cullen just took over this horse last fall, and right away jumped out. You might question the gate speed, but in that one, all the way on top from post 7.
Yeah, you would think that the pole position could create some gate speed for All Muscle and Sass tonight. Last 2 were in a pop-up series at Mohawk Park and raced okay. Picked up a share in both of them. Cool Clifford, was the winner of the second leg. This one finished 5th in, and that one went on to win the final of that series. So I think that All Muscle and Sass is a logical winner here, and even money might be a bit short on this one, but I think that she should definitely get a big piece of it.
Now, you know who might have been the logical pick if the post position wasn't so bad is number 8, Mike the Knight.
Yeah, Mike the Knight is one that I've been a fan of, and I've been on his bandwagon for some time. And this start just looked like it's too tough a task for me. Post 8 is so difficult here at Grand River, and it's just going to come down to the trip scenario. You can't really leave from out there, I think, and get forwardly placed at all. So he's going to likely have to come from off the pace. He's done it before. Made nice moves late in miles, but I just don't see him getting there tonight. For me, he's a play on the bottom end of the exotics, and I think he's around the price he should be at 7-1.
And those 3, the 1, 3, and 8, are probably the 3 best in here. And if you're looking for one more to use onto a super effective ticket, why not the 6 horse?
Yeah, why not? Rose 1, why not, right? Finished 4th last time to Thomas P2, and made some good gains late in that mile. Was only beaten by 3/4 length to Massive Ovation 2 back in non-winners of 3, and disappointed as the big favorite on that occasion. But Scott Young aboard, and he's been driving so well lately, especially at Mohawk Park. He's been racking up wins there. He won 2 there last night. I just think that he might have this one in the right spot to get a share in here, and 9-1 on the board. One that I certainly would leave off the bottom end of the trifecta is super.
And there's a look at number 5, Field Gunner. We might as well talk about. This is one that won 5 times last year, but hasn't gotten rolling this year in 5 tries, and now comes in from Rito Carlton, and a first start for Jordan Sumner. And this one qualified, a good final quarter in the qualifier. Field Gunner could be interesting for a piece, maybe.
Yeah, he might be. And keep in mind too, this was a $200,000 yearling purchase for determination. Back in the day, so he was meant for good things and never, panned out to I guess the potential that they thought he had. But maybe we'll start to see him trend back in the right direction.
Well, right now, 1 All Muscle and Sass and 3 Astray du Hurrah are both sitting at 8 to 5, and those are your top two. We'll see how things unfold. All Muscle and Sass 9 to 5 on the inside. Now the second choice is my top one, and you're on Astray du Hurrah. All Muscle and Sass, Astray du Hurrah, racing on the inside. Hot Fudge Sunday, Field Gunner, Rose Run Why Not on the center of the gate, and on the outside, Arch We Lucky and Mike the Knight. And the second here, Thunder Romps. It's a field of 8 for race number 8. They're at the start of the rough, and Hot Fudge Sunday drives out. Rose Run Why Not on the outside. All Muscle and Sass pressing on through on the inside, trying to drive on through, but right now it is Hot Fudge Sunday who's got the lead. Hot Fudge Sunday is going to clear to the front. All Muscle and Sass is racing, filling the pocket. Rose Run Why Not is on the inside third, and in front of Field Gunner, and now popping out quickly from second. All Muscle and Sass wants the front. Hot Fudge Sunday now is going to race the second spot. Rose Run Why Not is third. Then it is Field Gunner and Mike the Knight, and back to Astray du Hurrah, who has just 2 beaten right now, and they're Thunder Romps and Arch We Lucky, and they work their way on past that opening quarter, and that opening panel was 28 and 4. All Muscle and Sass 6 to 5 on the board for Travis Cullen. Leads Hot Fudge Sunday as they race off the turn. And then Rose Run Why Not his third. Now coming to the outside, Field Gunner is going to gun first over. Mike the Knight is situated second over fifth. Astray du Hurrah sixth with work to do. And then Thunder Romps and Arch We Lucky. 59-second halftime, 30-1 second panel. All Muscle and Sass leads it by 3 now. Hot Fudge Sunday is racing second, and then Field Gunner and Rose Run Why Not and Mike the Knight. But All Muscle and Sass is starting to desert Hot Fudge Sunday, and Field Gunner on the outside is trying to take over second. Rose Run Why Not, and then Mike the Knight, and then well back we have on the outside now Astray du Hurrah about a dozen lengths off the lead, and then Thunder Romps and Arch We Lucky. All Muscle and Sass muscled up by 3/4 in 1:29 as they turn from then Field Gunner, Hot Fudge Sunday, and Rose Run Why Not and Mike the Knight. They turn from All Muscle and Sass. On down the stretch road they come, and All Muscle and Sass muscle sharp at the finish and wins it by 3. Field Gunner came on to pick up second. Then it was Rose Run Why Not, and Hot Fudge Sunday was able to stick around for fourth. 158 and 2. All Muscle and Sass was very sharp in this one, Rob.
Yeah, definitely. There's no beating All Muscle and Sass in here, and my top selection kind of got lost in the mix off the gate, and then kind of just never got into the race. Not what I was expecting at all, but All Muscle and Sass had much the best in here, and you're still trucking on your 3 singles in your late to pick 4 wager.
Yeah, problem is next race still have a single, so we'll see if that can work out. But at least we saved some money. All Muscle and Sass, you didn't need to spend more than All Muscle and Sass. And Travis Cullen did a nice job getting out and then taking the lead from Hot Fudge Sunday, as Hot Fudge Sunday was a longer one that you didn't want to sit behind.
Yeah, it was always important to make that move back to the lead there after Hot Fudge Sunday got to the lead. And then you mentioned Field Gunner. It was the last one we talked about, and that one with a nice effort to be second at 12-1. One that might be worth keeping an eye on for next time.
Yeah, the question was whether Field Gunner would be okay, ready to rock and roll, because had come in from Rito Carlton, so had traveled, but a 5-time winner last year.
Yeah, he was, and like I said, a $200,000 yearling purchase. Interesting to see, where he goes from here and how he fares. Rose Run Why Not, completing the trifecta with Scott Young at 11-1. Hot Fudge Sunday 21-1 in the Super. So with the 6-5 shot here, Gary, we should see some pretty hefty payouts in the Tri and the Superfecta.
Coming back in front of us is number 1, All Muscle and Sass, a 4-year-old muscle mass bay mare owned by A1 Stable, trained by Jody Cullen. Travis Cullen's the winning driver. It's the second win this year and the 6th lifetime. All Muscle and Sass 158 and 2. The eighth race payouts. Number one, all muscle and sass for 53.10 275. Field gunner $9 and $5 and 6 Rose Run. Why not? $4. $2 exactor 42.60. Dollar Tribe 97.95. The dollar superfecta numbers 1, 5, 6, and 4. If you had this one, Orange U Smart 401.60. Eighth race. Order of finish from the top. 1 scratch 5 4 2 3 8 6 7. That's 1 scratch 5 4 2 3 8 6 7. field for the ninth race on parade. One, Prince Adair. Paul McKenzie drives and trains and owns. Number 2 is Shadow Warrior. Scott Ray for Keith Cullen and Chris Kane. And 3 is Smilin' Billy the Kid. Travis Enberg for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider. 4 is Galterio Hanover. Travis Culliver, Jay Conklin, and Percy Jones. 5 is EL Wild Sport. Tyler Borth for Jack Ray and James Lewis. And 6, Rockin' My Dream, Scott Young for Shane Barrington and Katrina Barrington and Rick Ryer and Paul Burbrick. 7 is Casey's Dragon, Colin Kelleher, Kyle Bostons, and Daryl Newbeging. And number 8 is Weimar Champ, Jay Harris for Mitchell Tierney and Robert and Ron Woodburn. Field of 8, race number 9, and let's get a look at this field. And well, we're going to start with number 2, Shadow Warrior. Not the favorite, but offering 6-1. Was really good at London 2 races ago. Last race here, well, you tell me.
Yeah, he kind of didn't get a fair, I guess, he couldn't get a fair assessment on him in that effort. He got away and then stayed inside, started to make gains up the inside, and then faded back, in the stretch. So I don't really think it was a race that we can really look at it and say that's a good indication of how Shadow Warrior is going to race tonight. He was racing really well going into that effort. He was just 7-2, and now tonight he's 6-1 from post 2, which is a much better post than he had last time. So I think we might see Shadow Warrior rebound in this spot, and I don't mind him from the post 2.
Well, certainly at the price, and probably going to leave. You see gate speed just the start before it at London, so that could be the big difference right there. Let's look at number 6, Rockin' My Dream. As I'm looking to rock the 3rd straight to Key before getting to the all in the last dash. And well, 3-5, that's a little lower than I would have anticipated, but comes in off of some pretty good speed.
He does. He's got lots of gate speed. There's no question about that. He gets put on the lead, with frequency, or at least gets forwardly placed anyways at Mohawk Park, and against some decent groups there, and now makes a transition to Grand River. Post 6, not the easiest spot though to get to the front. I mean, he's going to have to outleave some speedy horses here, or try to race them just off the pace. I think the goal will be to get to the lead. But again, there are some, ones that's just inside of him. They're going to flash really speed. EL Wild Sports got speed. We know that, like we said, Shadow Warrior might push out there today. Prince Adair went to the front last time from the same spot he's got tonight. So I just looked at him and thought he might be a vulnerable favorite here. Post 6 is the main concern for me.
And I like Shane Barrington. 30 wins in 163 starters this year, so pretty good win percentage. Number 4, Galterio Hanover, though, is one that's done some nice things and was good last race. Tough trip and kept digging to finish 3rd.
Yeah, this is one that you liked last time, I believe, Gary, and did go a difficult trip. I watched that replay, and this one, was a game first over. Got tired late, but really the margin he got beat by is deceiving, because Rising Dragon won by such a big number that it looks like he got beat soundly, but he was with the rest of the pack. So I thought it was a decent enough effort to use him tonight. 10-1 on the board right now. I think that's an overlay, and one that you don't want to dismiss from the bottom end of the exotics.
One Prince Adair, beaten by Rising Dragon last time out. But Prince Adair, another try from the inside, 3rd start of the year. Could be better, and certainly is going to probably fly again early.
Yeah, he does have a license to improve. I thought that last time. I tried him on top. I liked the price even at 3-1. Was excited early on, and then he got tired late and finished 4th. Got beat more than 7 lengths, but comes right back with the rail again. He's a horse that does have all kinds of gate speed when it gets summoned. I think it has to tonight. I don't think that Paul McKenzie's going to want to waste the pole position, so I think they're going to be pushing out of there for sure. It's just a matter of, can he take a step forward in his 3rd start back off a layoff. I think he can, enough to just kind of get a piece of it again, but if he came up with a better performance this time with a better result, I wouldn't be surprised.
And we didn't touch on 5, EL Wild Sport, but Tyler Borth for Jack Ray, and this is one that's been pretty good this year, and Jack Ray's put up some big numbers, so tough one to leave off the ticket, but you got to leave somebody off the ticket. Right now, number 6, Rockin' My Dream, rocking the favorite status, taking up positions. Prince Adair, Shadow Warrior, Smilin' Billy, the kid on the inside of the center, Galterio Hanover, and E.L. Wildsport. On the outside, Rockin' My Dream and Casey's Dragon, and Rymar Champ, Field of 8, race number 9. Here they come. And the field for the 9th race is at the start of the rough, and Galterio Hanover, Prince Adair on the inside, Shadow Warrior and E.L. Wild Sport is also leaving, then Smilin' Billy the Kid and Rockin' My Dream, Rymar Champ and Casey's Dragon. On into the backstretch they go. Galterio Hanover is dueling Prince Adair for the lead. They're gonna go at it, and it is Galterio Hanover and Travis Cullen on the outside, but Prince Adair and Paul McKenzie on the inside is going to press on through, and now forces Galterio Hanover to take back and find a seat in the pocket. The opening quarter, 27 seconds flat. And racing third, E.L. Wild Sport, and then Shadow Warrior. Rockin' My Dream is currently 5th and is about 8 lengths off the lead. Then it is Rymar Champ and Smiling Billy the Kid, and Casey's Dragon is trailing the field. Prince Adair at 6-1 has lead as they race the way off the turn. Galterio Hanover is second. Then E.L. Wild Sport. Now here comes Shadow Warrior. Shadow Warrior went up on the outside and then made a break in stride. So now Rockin' My Dream is going to have to fend first over, and is moved up quickly now to take over third. Into the backstretch they go off of 57-2 halftime, and racing on the inside for this E.L. Wild Sport. Rymar Champ is 5th, and then Casey's Dragon and Smiling Billy the Kid. Shadow Warrior with that break is out of it. It is Prince Adair who's got the lead. Rockin' My Dream is now up to rock second, but still has work to do because Prince Adair looks alive. 57-2 was the half, and they head to 3/4, and it is Prince Adair. Prince Adair and Rockin' My Dream. 1:26-2 for 3/4, and Rockin' My Dream gets to drop down to the inside and save some ground on the turn. E.L. Wild Sport and then Galterio Hanover and Casey's Dragon, and they turn for home. It is Prince Adair who got tested early. We'll see if that matters in the lane. On the inside, Rockin' My Dream. Prince Adair and Rock My Dream. Prince Adair passes the test with flying colors. Prince Adair wins it, and then second, Rockin' My Dream. On the outside was Casey's Dragon, and on the inside, well, in the center of the track, E.L. Wild Sport. Prince Adair, you were just a week early with Prince Adair, Rob.
I was just thinking that, it almost had to go right back to him. I always say it, when you bet a horse at a price and you feel strongly about them, if the next week rolls around and it wasn't that bad of an effort, you got to come back to it, especially when it's third start back off a layup. I wish I did tonight. That was the Prince Adair I thought we'd see last time. I'll be honest. After that opening quarter, I said, well, it's not going to work out tonight for Prince Adair, but he was much stronger, after getting those 2 starts under his belt, and he kept on trucking. Even on the final turn there, looked like he might start to get tired, but he paced away from his rivals and scores at a nice price.
I was really surprised that he was able to pace away because he got heavily tested. Galterio Hanover made him really go hard to the opening quarter. Did get a breather in the second panel, but still, he had tons left.
Yeah, 27 flat. That's a huge quarter for this class, and it was heavily contested. I mean, they were waging war out there. Listen, Prince Adair is one that I've always kind of been fond of and thought that he'd fit in well in a class like this, and well, he proved it tonight because he was much the best.
And then 3 across the track for second, but it was Rockin' My Dream, but when you're on the board at 3-5, second is not what you're looking for, and took down by pick 4, but, we got a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, it was a bit of a ride, almost, snuck through with 3 singles. And Rockin' My Dream, it's like I thought might be the issue for him. He's a speed-type horse. Going to be almost impossible for him to get to the lead with, some speedsters on the inside of him from post 6. And, he still gave a pretty strong effort, all things considered, to finish second after going first up. It just wasn't in the same league as Prince Adair tonight.
And I mentioned I didn't like the idea of leaving E.L. Wild Sport off the ticket, and that wasn't a good idea because E.L. Wild Sport I had for 4th, but finished into the top 3, and Jack Ray's barn continues hot. But back in front of us, one Prince Adair, a 6-year-old, so surreal, Bay Gelding, owned, trained, and driven to victory by Paul McKenzie. First win in a couple of seasons, 11th win lifetime for Prince Adair, mile of 157. And on trackside, note the Holstein Ontario 2021 Master Breeders Race Group. The ninth race payouts: 1 Prince Adair, 1570, 410, 290, 6 Rockin' My Dream, 280, 250, and 5 Eel Wild Sport, 420, $2 exactor, 37.20, dollar try, 83.85, dollar super, 613.45. Ninth race order finish from the top is a 187-53246. That's 187-53246. Field for the 10th race on parade. 1, Backstreet Lawyer Travis Henry for Tyler Nostad and Blue Shoe Investments. Number 2 is Modern Rider, Tyler Borth for Jason Sherman and Burton Betty Sherman. And 3, Dragon Energy, Paul Davies for Nicole Davies. Number 4, Sir Pugsley, Colin Kelly for Cassidy Schneider. Number 5 is Easton Beach, George Ketros for Mary Ketros. Number 6, He's a Handyman, Mike Horner for Mark Horner. Number 7, Ideal Jet, Nick Boyd for Craig Bars and Nurko Sokolovic. Number 8, Jules Dragon, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and A1 Stable and Paul Sanders. And 9, Royal Renegade, Brett McDonald for Brett Lester and Eric Rosine. Field of 9, race number 10, featuring the Super High 5. And Rob, this is really interesting. You get a very nice field. A couple of it are probably the best, have saddled with tough post positions, wide open dash, and we each have one that's at a bit of a price as our top pick. We'll start with 2, Modern Rider. You're sitting at 8-1.
Yeah, I'm surprised this horse isn't taking more support, draws inside, preferred last time, not much of a chance getting away 6th, went overland for a bit of the mile, and you should like this class much better, and not a stranger to winning at this level, be competitive at this level. I think Modern Rider, should get away well off the gate. The thing that does concern me is it could be busy the front end in this race, so I'm just not sure, what the overall trip scenario is going to be, but I looked at this race top to bottom. I said I've got to be on one that I think will offer some value. I thought Modern Rider would be about 5-1. He's 8-1 right now, even a higher price. So I'm happy to be in his corner at this point.
One that is offering me some value is 9, Royal Renegade, your second choice and my top one. The thing is figuring out the trip from the trailer post, but this is a race that could get kind of messed up. And there does at least appear to be some gate speed to get some cover from the inside early.
Yeah, I looked at this race when I handicapped the card, and I probably came back to it about 7 times because I really think that the margin between all these horses is not much. And I am with you with Royal Renegade. I kind of struggled not putting this one on top. I kind of hemmed and hawed over who I went on top, and this one at 8-1. I'll be honest, if I thought he'd be 8-1, I might have went in this direction. I thought Royal Renegade would take more support just off his recent lines. I know he's got the trailing post, but the horse in front of him's got speed. Really, the inside 2 should be pushing out of there pretty well, which means he might get spotted decently enough off the gate if he can latch onto a helmet or just sit in a spot. He can lunge at the wire and maybe get there. 8-1's a big number on Royal Renegade.
Number 7, Ideal Jet, your third one's another one that's got a poor post and doesn't fit his best scenario, but he's got a lot of class.
He's got lots of back class, and he's also loaded with speed off the gate. I think that the only path to victory for Ideal Jet is to just fire out of there, even from post 7. And, I'm hoping that's the strategy tonight, and I think that's how he makes his way onto the ticket, because if he could ever clear this group, which I think he possibly can, he might swell up on the lead. And he's good enough that he can beat this group with anything close to his best day. Nick Boyd knows him well. 17-1 on the board right now. I think that's an overlay on Ideal Jet.
I didn't use 5, Easton Beach. It hasn't raced since March the 8th, but that 27-3 in the final quarter in the qualifier kind of jumps out.
Against Warwi Vital, right? So you've got to think he's ready to go now. Now, granted, even that qualifier is quite a ways back. I just thought that if he could ever just get down to the pylons and set a trip, which that's not really Easton Beach's MO, but if he does that, he can sneak onto this high 5 ticket. I wanted to find some prices because, again, in a race that I think is this competitive, I don't want to be on the lower price horses.
And I better get you to touch on Dragon Energy because even money on the board.
Yeah, I think a lot of support coming from those fast miles at Mohawk Park, and while they were good against decent company, you go to look at the lines over the half mile surfaces. Now, granted, the last one was 7 hole at Flamborough. They just don't really stack up all that well. So I just can't get there in odds-on choice. I thought he would take support in here with the morning line of 2-1. I wanted to side elsewhere.
Well, we have sided elsewhere. You've gone with Modern Writer, who's at a price of 7-1, and I'm on 9 Royal Renegade at 6-1. The favorite Dragon Energy is sitting at 4-5. We'll see how it unfolds. Backstreet Lawyer, Modern Writer, Dragon Energy, inside post. Sir Pugsley, Easton Beach in the center. The outside, he's a handyman, an Ideal Jet, and Jules Dragon. And the second tier belongs to Royal Renegade. It's a field of 9, the 10th and final dash. Here they come. Giddy up. Field for the 10th race is at the start of the rough, and that is Backstreet Lawyer, Dragon Energy, Ideal Jet from the outside. Royal Renegade is getting out well from the second tier and into the front 4. Then it is Modern Writer, Sir Pugsley, Easton Beach, and then back further is Jules Dragon, and he's a handyman. And Ideal Jet wants to jet right out and take the lead. Dragon Energy racing the pocket, but not for long. It's going to come back around. Dragon Energy is going to reclaim the front. Dragon Energy at 9-5 now. Ideal Jet as 23-1 sits the pocket. Then a gap of 3. Backstreet Lawyer and Royal Renegade pops out from 4th right now and wants to get on the move. Royal Renegade has come on the outside and taken over 3rd. Backstreet Lawyer is currently racing 4th, and then it is Modern Writer as they race off the turn. And then we've got Sir Pugsley back to Easton Beach in the trailing pair, Jules Dragon, and he's a handyman. Dragon Energy to the half of a 27-1 opening quarter. Halftime 56 seconds. Royal Renegade is bearing down on the front stepping Dragon Energy, and Ideal Jet is racing in the pocket, and then it is Backstreet Lawyer. Modern Writer now is moving up and has taken over 4th. Backstreet Lawyer is racing fair from the backfield. Jules Dragon now is coming from a long way out of it and has got a full head of steam and is making up a ton of ground, and right now it is Royal Renegade who's come on to get the lead. Dragon Energy is hanging tough on the inside against Royal Renegade, and Jules Dragon has advanced all the way up to take over 3rd. Modern Writer is racing 4th, and from the backfield, he's a handyman, is looking bloody handy lately, and then it is Sir Pugsley. They turn from 3/4, 125 and 2, Royal Renegade, and then as they turn on down the lane, he's a handyman to the outside. He's a handyman has come on now to take over 2nd. Royal Renegade as they come to the finish, and on the outside, he's a handyman. Royal Renegade wins it. He's a handyman was 2nd. Then Backstreet Lawyer, Modern Writer, and Jules Dragon 156-1. Royal Renegade from the second tier in the final dash.
Royal Renegade, nice top selection for you, Gary, to close out the night. 4-1 on Royal Renegade. Came down from that price that we saw. He went up to like 11-1 when we were talking about him, and then down to 4-1 at post time. And just, one that looked like if he could get the right kind of trip, and he had to work hard for this trip, he could emerge victorious against this group, and he did. A little bit tired late, and he's a handyman. How about that? Coming from the clouds at a bomb price of 41-1 to get up for the place spots. So this should be interesting how this super high 5 pans out.
Yeah, he's a handyman. Is off of a win at Clinton. Now it was a front-end win at Clinton, but still, that's a huge effort, and that will really help it in behind a logical winner.
Yeah, it will. I mean, 41-1 in the second spot, and when one that was pretty tough to find, should make all the exotics pay well. And it's not like Royal Renegade's a favorite either. I mean, Dragon Energy was one that we both kind of thought was worth fading in here, and I mean, just really because of the price. The price was too short at 9-5, and with him completely off the ticket, this is going to pay well. Backstreet Lawyer, Modern Writer, you get some inside numbers, right? The 1, 2, and 9 all in the top 4, but still, I think we're going to see some giant-sized payouts.
And I used one Backstreet Lawyer because you taught me if you like the 1, you got to like the 9, and vice versa. So I liked the 9, so I liked the 1, put it on my ticket. 6-1, finished 3rd. There's a look at number 9, Royal Renegade. A 10-year-old J.K. Royal Flushbay gelding out by Eric Rosine at Bolton. Brett Lester, the trainer. Brett McDonald, the winning driver. Second win this year. 33rd lifetime. 156-1. Royal Renegade. 10th race payout tonight. Royal Renegade, 1080, 630, and $5. 6 He's a Handyman, 1830 and 1770, and 1 Backstreet Lawyer, 460. Dollar win for 233.35. High five carryover of 2,959.71, $2 exactor 439.50, 20-cent try 734.46, double of 1 and 9 110.40. The 10th race over finish from the top 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 9, 5, 1. That's 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 2, 9, 5, 1. There's a look at the photo for 4th. Well, fans, that does conclude the live harness racing program for this Wednesday evening. Racing action resumes on Friday. Our first race on a Friday will be 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Robert. Good night, Christine.
Good night.